The German Shepherd sat between the toddler and the front door every morning for 6 days. On the 7th day, a note arrived in the mailbox. The note explained the previous 6 days completely. Routine matters to German Shepherds. Anyone who has lived with one knows this. They learn the schedule, they hold the schedule, and any deviation from the schedule is registered and filed. Luna was a 5-year-old German Shepherd who had the household's morning routine memorized to the minute. What changed on a Monday was not the household routine. What changed was something outside it. 2-year-old Mateo's morning circuit was wake, kitchen, living room, front door to wave at the mail carrier who passed at 8:15. He had been doing this for 5 months. Luna had been part of it. She ran the circuit with him. She had met the mail carrier dozens of times. This was the established order. On Monday, Luna positioned herself between Mateo and the front door before he reached it. She did not block the wave. Mateo waved. But she kept herself between Mateo and the door for the duration of the carrier's approach and departure. Tuesday, same. Mateo's father, Darius, mentioned it to his wife Priya on Wednesday evening. She said, "Maybe she's protective of the front now." He said, "She's never been protective of the front. She's been standing at the front with him for 5 months." By Thursday, both of them were watching. Luna's positioning was consistent between Mateo and the door, specifically during the window when the mail carrier was in range. Friday, same. Saturday, no mail service. Luna did not position herself between Mateo and the door. On Sunday, Darius said, "She's responding to the mail carrier specifically." On Monday, day 7, the note arrived. Not in a letter, slipped under the front door. From the mail carrier. It said, "I'm sorry to be forward. I've noticed the dog positioning the child away from the door when I approach. I should tell you, there's been an incident on this route and I've been carrying protective spray this week. I think the dog may be sensing the spray on me. I wanted you to know because you have a small child. Subscribe now before the next detail." Because what Darius found when he looked up the route incident and what the mail carrier told him when he opened the door and had a conversation he had not expected to have with a stranger, explained 6 mornings in a way that Priya still talks about. The incident on the route had involved an aggressive dog 2 blocks over 3 weeks prior. The mail carrier, a man named Glenn Marsh, 8 years on the route, had been carrying industrial-grade citronella deterrent spray since then. The spray had a specific chemical signature. Every morning he passed their house, he carried it. Luna had been smelling the deterrent compound on him from the moment he turned onto the block, a compound associated in her specific sensory context with threat and response preparation. She had not been afraid of Glenn. She had been reading his chemical preparation state and placing herself between the prepared adult and the toddler as a precautionary measure. Glenn said, on the doorstep, to Darius, "I've seen dogs track when someone's carrying spray before. Your dog is good. She's not reacting to me. She's just adjusting her position relative to the child. That's a smart dog." He said, "I stopped carrying the spray last Thursday. She'll go back to normal tomorrow, I think." On Tuesday, Luna ran the morning circuit, stood at the door with Mateo, watched Glenn, the mail carrier, pass. She did not position between them. Has your dog ever consistently adjusted their position during a specific daily event? And did you eventually find out why? Tell us in the comments. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. The note is on the refrigerator. Darius put it there because he wanted to remember the week he almost corrected a behavior that was correct. Mateo still waves at Glenn every Monday through Saturday. Luna still stands at the door with him. The established order has returned, and it is the right order, and the dog knew which part of it needed adjusting before anyone else in the house had a reason to look. Next, the golden retriever who kept bringing her toy to the baby's bouncy seat every morning without exception for 3 weeks, and what the occupational therapist said when she heard about it.